great seeing you guys. A bit about myself. You could call me Đào Thế Đạt. Uh, you already know that I'm Đào Thế An, older brother. I came from Hanoi boy. Um, I'm 5 years older than him, so that make me 21. Um, this is my third semester in Canada, and I'm studying computer technician at Fanshawe College. Right now, I'm living in London, but not the England London, in Canada London. You know why they have the same name? Because in history, European people travel to America and Canada. So when they miss their home, they name the place that they land on their homeland name. That's why we have London in Canada, and we also have Paris in Canada. That's a great question. The COVID situation in my city or in Canada in general are quite positive. The number of new cases each day is decreasing, but actually it was quite low to begin with. And Canada also have an amazing track record when it comes to vaccine. More than 70% of Canada citizens have been fully vaccinated, which is around the highest in the world.
No, I mean, can you tell us about what you feel about this COVID-19?
You want to know how I feel? Well, I'm feeling lucky because my family and I have not been affected by COVID-19. And we're still going strong. But however, I give my best empathy to the people whose life was turned over by the pandemic and those who did not make it.
Imagine the COVID-19 pandemic was never happened, and we get to visit Canada. Where would you recommend us to visit?
The famous of them all would be, do you know about Niagara Falls? The Niagara Falls. Yeah, it appears in every music video. Yeah.
So I have heard a lot about, like, many people in Vietnam want to go to Canada, like, instead of America, but I don't know what reason is that. So can you tell me about that?
Well, first thing first, Canada and the US is like sibling or a twin. They are so similar to each other that if I drop you somewhere with no maps, you could never tell. But what set them apart is the people. The people in Canada is so much more friendly than the US.
Can you share a little bit of climate in there?
About climate?
Yeah.
The climate in Canada around this season is pleasant, I would say. Into the detail, the average temperature in the summer is around 20 degrees, which is relatively lower than Vietnam. But when it comes to winter, it could dip below -10. And ice and snow are everywhere, and I could not wait for winter.
I'm currently living in West Yorkshire of England. we have relaxed a lot of the restrictions, so we're not in lockdown anymore. So a lot of places are open, so like pubs, clubs, public places, schools, they are all open, but we still have some measures in place, such as social distancing, and in some places we have to wear masks, but in some places it's not mandatory, it's just voluntary. So if you go into a pub or any other public place or supermarket, you don't have to wear a mask. It's your choice if you want to, because a lot of us now have been vaccinated. So most of the population have been vaccinated. Life is pretty normal. Like I do everything normal, like I usually would. If I need to take public transport to go to work or some other place, I just do it as normal. I don't usually wear a mask when I go on public transport. It's kind of now not many people will wear a mask. So the only time I wear a mask is at work, but traveling to the workplace is pretty normal. Just people just do it as we would normally.
About stay at home or going out at the pandemic. So how do you feel?
When I'm outside, like now, like I'm in the open, I don't feel very anxious. I don't feel like too worried. It's not too dangerous. Probably the most famous attraction, Buckingham Palace, which is in London. That's where you'll find the Queen of England. So that's probably the most famous one. And I think York. It has some very interesting places because they are very historic places, and where you can learn a lot about British history in York.